You see, this is exactly why I don't read books, okay? Bad shit happens, and it's never a good thing. So, The Mummy is a remake of the 1932 Universal Monster Classic, which I will review for Halloween. These are summer blockbusters, so that's the reason why I'm reviewing them in the summer. So anyways, this movie stars Brendan Fraser, Rachel Weisz, Oded Fehr, John Hannah, a lot of people, okay? So, basically, the plot is basically sparing the entire intro of the movie. You just have to watch the movie for that intro itself, because that's a lot to explain. We follow the adventures of Rick O'Connell, Brendan Fraser, who's part of the French Foreign Legion, and they're in the middle of a battle with his cowardly friend Benny. And after narrowly escaping said battle, Rick is spared his life, basically by the spirit of Imhotep, and the place that he runs to after he's being chased. Later on, he's left to rot in the desert, but we find him in prison a few months later, and then we come to know the characters of Evie and Jonathan, two brother and sisters. Of course, Evie is a librarian. Jonathan's her crazy ass brother, an awesome brother at that. And he comes to her with this little key that he said he had found in Thebes. In reality, he kind of took it from where Rick was at, basically. So they go in to meet Rick, okay, to get a little bit more information about Hamunaptra, okay, in the city of the so-called City of the Damned. That is where Rick makes a deal with Evelyn to spare his life before he's supposed to be hanged. So after that, they go to Hamunaptra, okay. After a little bit of a race, they find the Book of Amun-Ra, and what happens? Oh, Evie just reads the book, accidentally awakens Imhotep, you know, the cursed mummy, after all these damn years, who wants revenge and wants to resurrect his dead girlfriend, Anck-su-namun, because Evelyn kind of bears a resemblance to Anck-su-namun, so he decides to use her as a sacrifice to bring back his dead girlfriend. It's up to Rick and everybody else to save the day, stop everybody from getting killed, and save the world. This movie, after all that explanation, it's fucking awesome. Everything about this movie was just great. I even love the music. I never talk about music in my reviews ever unless it's Hans Zimmer. But the music that was done by this person was awesome. Unfortunately, he died in 2004, but he did score this one. I think he scored the Mummy Returns as well. But the music fit this movie perfectly. It's like you want to go to Egypt. It makes you want to go to fucking Egypt, man. Seriously, I kind of want to go right now just thinking about the music. Because you cannot have The Mummy without this music. This music solidified this movie. Brendan Fraser. Now, at the time, Brendan Fraser, I never really thought of Brendan Fraser as an action star. Because I remember seeing this in theaters. Oh, I gotta tell you about that story. But I remember seeing him in a bunch of comedies. Some good, some so not. George of the Jungle. Dudley Do-Right. No, don't get me started on Dudley Do-Right. Blast from the Past is awesome, though. Blast from the Past is fucking awesome. Okay? But, yeah, those other two, not really. So, seeing him as an action star kind of shut me down for a little bit. But, when I seen that the character didn't take itself too seriously, he kind of cracked jokes, the only way Brendan Fraser can do it, that shit worked. And it worked well. And I'm glad he did these roles. Rachel Weisz. I never heard of her before this movie, but damn, she was gorgeous. And yes, John Hannah, who plays Jonathan, of course. His name is John, and his name is Jonathan in the movie. He's awesome. He is fucking awesome. He had a TV series on NBC called MD, but I think it got canceled a few 7 years ago, I think. 7 or 8 years ago. It's been a while. I feel like I just remember that like it was yesterday, but still. And Stephen Sommers did a good job in directing this movie. Originally, the movie cost $15 million to make by a different director, but Stephen Sommers pitched his idea to the studio because they've been trying to get the remake off the ground for a while, and it seems like it worked because they moved the budget up from $15 million to $80 million. So Stephen Sommers got that leeway. He knows how to pitch an idea, and I'm glad they did because the effects in this movie is amazing. God damn, the action in this movie is great. The acting in this movie is great. Oded Fehr, I gotta talk about that dude for a minute. Oded Fehr has that voice. You know what I mean? He's the guy that chases Rick a little bit and follows him wherever he goes and warns him to leave. And I gotta do it like this. Enough! You're not shedding any more blood, but you must leave. Leave this place or die. And if you don't know who I'm talking about, he was the dude you see at the very beginning of Deuce Bigalow, Mel Gigolo, that banged that chick at the very beginning, and Rob Schneider had to watch his fish. He's also Carlos from the Resident Evil movies. Yeah, he's in those movies. He was also in European Gigolo for like a minute before I think he got killed off. Spoiler alert. I did see European Gigolo in theaters. Not the best one, but it was okay. So yes, Oded Fehr has been a while for a minute. And the guy who plays Imhotep, Arnold Vosloo. There we go. Because I remember Arnold Vosloo. He was on Bones a few seasons, not as a star or nothing, but he was like the bad guy that David Boreanaz was chasing. Yeah, he was awesome in that. He's awesome as the Mummy in this movie, as Imhotep, of course. Everything about this movie is awesome. I love that airplane chase where Imhotep makes a sand face and tries to eat the airplane. It's awesome. You gotta see it to know what I'm talking about. If you ain't seen The Mummy yet, where the hell have you been? Where the fuck you been, man? Where the fuck you been? This movie has everything. It got action, drama, comedy, a little bit of sci-fi because everything goes on here. This movie has it all. It's the perfect example of a summer movie. Now, when we went to go see this movie, it was me and my uncle and his daughter, I believe, or I think. We saw this movie in theaters. At the very end of this movie, where they're trying to escape the tomb and trying to escape from being crushed, the fucking film burned. So I was sitting there like, what the fuck just happened? My uncle's like, the film burned. It literally burned right off the screen. So we had to wait like 5 or 10 minutes for them to get a whole new set of tape, fast forward back to where we were at, and continue it. But when they did, it was still awesome. Just another great memory for going to the movies. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna give The Mummy. I'm gonna give it an A+. Damn good entry into the Mummy franchise so far. Love this movie to death. Drop your comments down below. Let me know what you guys think about The Mummy down below. Did you like it? Did you hate it? And what did you think about it when you first seen it? And what was your first movie experience seeing this remake? So let me know. I'll catch y'all later.